Just stumbled upon this video. Haven't watched it, but as long as this guy doesn't mention Frina, Novilette, or Arlecchino, I'm sold. Otherwise, pretty meaningless video. Yeah, never mind. Today I'm clearing Spiral Abyss without using Nightland characters and without using Novilette, Frina, Arlecchino. It's not a problem. To be honest, it was more difficult to just be using only Fontaine characters the way I was doing yesterday, because only Fontaine characters do not make for good teams. Okay, so these are today's teams, and I have to put a disclaimer. My Emily is actually C1, so I will be using a level 1 Favonius Lance, which will decrease her damage so significantly that the C1 is rendered completely meaningless. This C1, for those who don't know, increases her talent damage by 20%, and it creates more sense, which makes her do that talent damage a little more often. And speaking of putting level 1 weapons, I noticed that a couple of comments in yesterday's video... No, it wasn't yesterday's video. I noticed that a few comments on the last video that I made, the one clearing with only Fontaine characters, some people were pointing out that Frina didn't lose that much damage by putting a Favonius weapon, because all I did was losing the ER stat, but if I managed to burst off cooldown, then it doesn't matter. I want to clarify that I was using her signature and switched it to a level 1 weapon, which means that by switching to a level 1 weapon, I'm losing 88 crit damage, like, what, 20-something skill damage, and probably 20-something max HP, or maybe 18. I don't know, everything that the signature does, I lost all those benefits. That is a damage loss, but it's fine. Maybe I should have clarified it a little bit more. It still doesn't compensate for how strong C2 is, and I understand that. Not just that, but C1 also increases the max stacks that you have, on top of like front loading some. It's just a mess. I can't deactivate those though, so there's not much I can do about it apart from just hindering myself like that. Something else worth mentioning is that my Frina build is on Marie-José, right? And if I'm not using her on the field, then she's not getting those Marie-José stacks. Because you can only get Marie-José stacks on field. That's why you don't use Marie-José as a set on off-fielders. Which means that she was also losing the potential 70 skill damage that you get from Golden Troop. I'm just saying that, like, yeah, it was still kind of unfair, but at the same time, you guys are also downplaying how much I was hindering my Frina yesterday. She's shackled, I'm telling you. If you guys were to see my unleashed Frina, you guys would be scared. Let me do everything here in order to kill this guy. I mean, I think we have plenty of time. Maybe I can just yap a little bit. What was I saying? Was I talking about unleashing the wolf? Yeah, my Frina is this close to unleashing the wolf. The devil shivers when Frina gets upset, I suppose. Anyways, I would like to have energy. I have switched my Shangling back to the catch from Favonius Lance, because, I don't know, felt like wanting to go back to the good old days of doing a bit more damage on Shangling. But I'll be honest, every single day I play the game, every single day I play Shangling specifically, and I have the catch instead of Favonius Lance, I do notice it, and I do feel like it sucks. I don't want it. Let's keep energy for the next chambers, right? I mean, we have plenty of time here, right? Can you not die? Alright. Can you not die? I want energy for the next chambers, and since we have time, right now I'm just trying to kill it while, you know, getting as much energy as possible. Sorry for hitting the microphone there. If you're wondering why I'm using Dehya in this team, it's because I need Pyro application. Mabuika is forbidden, and the second team already has Shangling, so we will go with Dehya in this one. She also gives some hyper armor, which can be decently useful on Clorinda, just because I get interrupted all the times on this character, so it's nice not to get interrupted. Just a secret between us, I actually have C3 Dehya on her signature weapon, but I personally think that the day I get called out for using Dehya, as in like, no man, this clear is not fair, you're using Dehya, then I think that's GG. We've reached the absolute cinema when it comes to excuses. So I don't think anyone is going to complain about my Dehya on her signature weapon in C3. actually get all our beautiful buffs. This guy is in iframes, so we cannot damage him any further. Let's just set up stuff here already. Can I place Oz? Nope. I'm not allowed to place Oz. Alright, there you go. Pretty obnoxious that you gotta wait until Oz's duration finishes so you can place the next one. But it is what it is, you know? Fischl is a great character anyways, so we will excuse her for that. What we won't excuse is Xiangling's monstrous energy requirements. Those are illegal. Actual criminal energy requirements. And I will die on this hill. Berna should be good to get rid of these Void Wards, right? And then Lini is there to do the damage, since Emily's on a level 1 Favonius Lens. I wonder, who else could I put instead of Emily if I wanted to, like, make burn? Just that I don't have Nahida. I just feel like I'm forced to put Emily, you know what I mean? Like, who else applies Danger? Because if I put the Traveler, then their fucking thing is going to explode. And if it explodes, then it doesn't apply Danger anymore. It applies 2 units of Danger, I think, when it explodes, which I guess maintains the burn aura for a little bit longer, but like, whatever, bro. It's like 2 units for an entire ultimate. 80 energy and 20 fucking cooldown for 2 units of Danger. That is the worst trade ever, I think. Unless for some reason a new team comes out that actually utilizes the double Danger application in that case. And hats off to that. Hoyo actually didn't fix the interaction that the Traveler has with Pyro. Anyways, you might have noticed that I'm yapping, just because there's really nothing to say. This is actually very, very easy. And I don't understand how can anyone be claiming that you need Natlan characters in order to clear this Spiral Abyss. Because the Void Wards, yes, although they do reward, how do you call it? Although they do reward characters that have, like, Night Soul aligned damage, it's not just Night Soul aligned damage. I would say that half of the cast of Natlan actually gets diffed by burn, by use on the Void Wards. You know what I mean? Of course, then you have the characters like Kinich that use burn, and have a Night Soul aligned damage. Then you have characters like Chaska who do a lot of Night Soul aligned damage. And, you know, you have the characters that actually excel at getting rid of the Void Wards. But that doesn't mean that without you know, these characters with Night Soul Blessing, it doesn't mean that without them you actually struggle. You just have to work around it a little bit. Play this team, for example, or play something else. Like, I think Burn is good, but normally I would say that Electro Charge is also really good. The problem is that the first boss specifically wants you to have Pyro, which basically streamlines you into playing Burn, or some sort of like a mono-pyro team, right? Which means that, for example, Arlecchino is going to be good, which means that, for example, Lini is going to be good, which means that any burn unit is going to be good, so Nahida, Emily, who else applies Danger in this game? Kinich, maybe even Burn Ahaitam works, I don't know, maybe Burn Tignari, I don't know. Just go ahead and experiment, like, okay, I don't want to die. I always come so close to dying, and I don't like that. I would like to heal him, but I don't feel safe at the moment. Because the enemies have burn aura. You know what? I'll do it on my next Bennett ultimate. I'll do it on my next one. No, you do! No, you do! Right. I was about to die with 2 characters. That is absolutely beautiful. For those who don't know, Lini's burst gives him 50% damage reduction while he's in the... While I was dying earlier, I was trying to throw a little bit of knowledge at you by saying that if you actually use Lini's burst while he's in the cat form, right, if you don't detonate it early, you actually have, I think, 50% damage reduction, which makes him a little, which makes him, you know, a little tankier, I guess. Like, Lini is already a character that has very low base HP and base defense, which means that he's very prone to die. Poor, fragile little boy. And sometimes while you wait for the heals, it's nice to have the ultimate, so you can have that damage reduction. I'm pretty sure you can also not get interrupted while you're in that form. Not just that, he also cannot fall, which I know sounds like a complete... Which I know sounds stupid and useless, but it's actually kind of useful sometimes. If you need to float around, he can unironically do that. But you need to be elevated first. I don't know how to show it here. Like, if I had someone like Albedo, then I would be able to show it very easily. Because, like, you can go above the elevator, ult, and then you can float around with a cap. It's actually kind of silly. I don't know if it has much use, though. But that's a little bit of knowledge. Hey, you can't say that you don't learn from this channel, right? I mean, here I am out here telling you knowledge about Lini and his cat form and ways to survive in Genshin Impact. I would say that that is a smash-like worthy moment, wouldn't you guys say? So smash that like button. Okay, let me not die. Okay, smash the like button for me not dying. How about that? Ooh, we iframed this one. Very nice, very nice. So yeah, I have so many effects on my screen that I get confused on what is actually going on with this boss. So maybe deactivating some of the effects would actually help me fight this guy. Unironically. Like, what is going on here? Like, what did you turn yourself into? Right, there you go. I don't know how many seconds I had left. I think I had like a good amount. This video isn't really meant to be spiteful or anything. I just wanted another excuse to play Spiral Abyss. So subscribe for more Spiral Abyss content, I guess.